Hello, and welcome to another episode of Project Airwaves.
Woo! We're back again tonight, but this time we're on camera.
We're on camera.
Or at least we see we're on camera.
We see we're on camera, so this is
Y'all
going to be a different experience for us more than anything.
We on camera.
We're on camera. This is Lynn.
This is D.
Now you guys officially know what we look like.
Welcome to Project Airwaves.
How ugly we are.
I'm gorgeous.
Okay, well, one of us is gorgeous.
He's ugly.
I am, extremely. But we're working on it.
Working on it.
It's a reoccurring effort, nonetheless.
Yeah.
So today's topics, we've got a couple things to talk about.
Yes.
Like I said, with our new setup, we've got a little bit of an office space going on. We're trying to make it a visual aspect.
Yes. For those of you who are listening instead of seeing, we have an epic Dragon Ball Z poster in the background.
It's a pretty cool poster.
And I don't care what you say, it's epic. Like, it starts from Dragon Ball and works all the way down to Dragon Ball, like the end of Dragon Ball Z. It's sick.
Pretty much. Dragon Ball all the way to the end of it, from head to tails.
Yeah.
Looks good.
You'll see it in future videos, most definitely.
Yeah, so we're starting live. We're going to try and make this a reoccurring thing.
Technically live, not like live.
Yeah.
Live enough.
Live enough. Alive. Breathing live. So.
Breathing live.
Yeah, so we're shooting live. We're going to try and make this more of an open-ended topics.
Yes.
Keep it short and simple, but we'll kind of hit our usuals. So much of how the weekend was going. How was yours?
My weekend was pretty chill. We didn't do a whole lot just because with work and everything, because I work at a call center, it's like it's mentally taxing. So I get tired and I just like to chill on the weekend.
Right.
My girlfriend's family, one of her family members came in from out of town. So we went over there, hung out, had some drinks,
Where'd you guys go?
420. We just met. They have like the one house where everybody meets at. So we all go to, I'll just call her auntie's house. Mm-hmm. And so like everybody from all over the city, I think they were visiting from somewhere down south. So they make a phone call and they send out a blast on like Facebook and everybody shows up. So it was probably like, I don't know, almost 20 of us in this 2-story house, and we're all like packed in the garage. Some people are in the living room, in the kitchen.
That's cool.
It's really super duper old school, like you see on like Friday or something.
Yeah.
Everybody's just there. There's food, there's weed, there's alcohol. It's a really good old time. Like, it's old school.
Right.
Like, you're just chilling with your family.
That's good.
So it was nice. It was relaxing.
Yeah.
Which I needed.
Which is, I feel like a lot of us need is more or less like looking forward to the weekend and actually having something to look forward to, a plan or some kind of a notion of being able to like, all right, this is what's coming. Let me grind out this work week. So then when the weekend does come, I can actually sit back, relax, and enjoy myself a little bit.
Right. And that's the thing about becoming an adult for a lot of our younger listeners or viewers is that, as you get older, things, you slow down a little bit. So normally it's like, you wake up and every day something new. You're going to school, you're hanging out with your friends, whatever, it's the weekend. But as you get older and you get into that adult working life where it's 9 to 5, 40 hours, sometimes, in Lynn's case, 50, 60 hours. Yeah. You kind of have to start planning things in advance almost. Yeah. Like, I have to plan to have free time.
Yeah, you have to plan. It's such a shitty thing to think that I have to plan in advance to know, all right, this is time for me. This is the time where I get to actually do something for myself, because other than that, my life is dedicated to just going to work, going to the gym, going to work, spending a little time here and there, paying bills, take care of the family, going to work. So more or less, this is my free time of being able to actually record these episodes and get something up and going. But, I'm looking forward to it. My birthday's coming around the corner next week or so.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to be trying to look forward to having a little downtime. Topics that we will be hitting off more or less today, for more or less my weekend, how my weekend went.
What did you do?
I worked overtime for PAC, which PAC is the women's and males. I think it's like college basketball.
Nice.
It was easy overtime. I worked 2 days, 2 16-hour days back to back, or 1 day on, 1 day off.
He said that was nice. Yeah, mind you.
Yeah, those were the easy ones. It was 6-hour shifts and then going into my 10-hour shift. Women's basketball, it was easy. They take care of themselves. They do their own thing. You just let them check credentials, milk the clock, and then
they know how it's supposed to work.
Go back to shift. I worked Friday for those 16 hours. Went home, slept Saturday, and then I took that night off to watch the UFC fight.
Nice.
Did you see anything about it?
No, I didn't see it. Unless I'm hanging out with Lynn, there's no way I'm watching half of this stuff.
So, just to kind of touch a little bit of how that fight went. The women's fight, I should have done my research on what the names were and everything like that, but the women's fight was very impressive.
Was it?
It was probably like, it literally was like watching a Dragon Ball Z fight. The
women's fight, I found, like, when we watched some of the older UFC bouts, the women's fight was always way more interesting.
These girls,
because they just go ham right out the gate.
Beat the shit out of each other. I'm talking, I'll have to show you the pictures afterwards, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers have seen it.
Yeah.
But the girl that was fighting the defending champion, her name was like Joanna. She got beat so bad. She got punched in the face, according to what the record show was 104 times.
Good God.
So her head just swelled up. There's so many memes of like...
How did you get hit that many times?
Just she was deformed. Her face got so beat you couldn't recognize what she looked like anymore.
Oh my God.
And the girl that she was fighting up against, Zhang, I think is what her name was.
Zangief?
No, not Zangief. She didn't look like she even took a scratch, but they were both just beating the crap out of each other.
Were they?
It was heavy. Like I'll have to show you this afterwards. But
awesome.
They really brought.
I think they have way more fun than the dudes.
They did. They came. They're swinging so fast and they were going back and forth that people were on the edge of the seats watching the co-main event. But the main event was trash. It sucks, is because the main event, the two guys that were fighting, Romero and I can't remember. It's Stylebender is what his name is.
Stylebender,
dude. You gotta look at him. He's so
straight out of Avatar.
His intros when he walks in, he does like Avatar moves. He'll do like flips and stuff.
Nice.
He had people introduce him out to like the Water Nation style and everything like that. He's really cool, down to earth dude. Is like his really tall BMA. That's just security talk.
Okay.
This black guy that's just very like his fighting style is so unique. It looks like he's gonna come at you with a fist, and all of a sudden an elbow comes out of nowhere. You think you're gonna get kicked in the chest, and all of a sudden he does like a freaking cartwheel and knocks you out,
which is insane.
So this reason why he holds the belt in his class. So people are really looking forward to him because he's a very technical fighter, and this guy Romero is like a monster. He's 5'8" of just solid muscle,
brute force,
and he just literally walks in like a tank, and he's crazy. He talks all kinds of crazy stuff. He speaks barely any English.
Nice. So that's intimidation.
Yeah, his aspect was just, it was supposed to be a good fight, and the main event was trash. Nothing happened. No knockouts, no successful parrying. They literally just danced around each other. Yeah,
they danced.
It was literally like watching the Avatar try to fight a boulder. Yeah. This dude just moved in one motion with he was so stiff, and then the Avatar's dancing around. Right. Or Stylebender's dancing around trying to fucking fight him, and nothing.
It's just ridiculous. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? You don't want to lose your title. There's a lot of money on the line.
He tried to play the safe bet, and
but
people were
pissed. At the end
pissed.
of the day, we're there to be entertained.
Yeah, it was supposed to be entertainment. Dana White put a press conference saying he was kind of upset with the outcome of it because it was supposed to be a really big fight. Yeah, and it ended up crapping out.
It felt like it probably looked like a sparring match.
It did. It was just a sparring match at that. Romero's leg was all kicked to shit because he was throwing these leg kicks, and his leg was all purple and disformed. Nice. So there were bits and pieces of it, but overall, it was cool. It was fun. It was fun to watch. Sit there, drink and spend some time with the friends. I had to go right back to work the next night. Work a 16-hour day doing the ending part for PAC, and then that was it. The weekend was pretty much done. Okay. Getting prepared. I mean, a topic again that we will hit more than anything is how the virus is affecting everybody.
Did you get the virus?
Yeah, no, I did not get the virus.
It's like that H1N1 commercial. Yeah. It's like, I got it, I didn't get it. And they're like, I didn't get it, well, I got it. Yeah. It's like, well, how do you not get corona? So pretty much how this topic's hitting, and like I won't go too much into detail about it. It is affecting a lot of people everywhere. I was at physical therapy earlier today, and they were saying more or less that they canceled March Madness, which this town thrives off of it. And I don't know if we thrive off of tourism.
Yeah, tourism. And I don't know if a lot of people know is Vegas is self-funding. Yes. The state doesn't pay for anything that we have because the casinos make so much money. We don't need it.
But, and possibly the mall.
Exactly. Well, yeah, right. The underground stuff. Buffets got shut down.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
There's no buffets. Yeah. My EDR, they've got hand washing stations inside there now. Everything's wrapped up in plastic.
What's weird is there's no way to field test for the coronavirus. You don't know if somebody has it until they've been hospitalized and properly tested.
Yeah, and it's
that's what I don't get. It feels like people are unnecessarily panicking.
Yeah, they're blowing it out of proportion. It is a scary thing because it is a virus nonetheless, but it's a concentrated version. It's a KOKN version of the flu. It is. It's making people panic, but what's making it hard is affecting all of us. Like I went to the store yesterday, just go buy water, hoping that they would be restocked. There's still no water at Smith's. There's no toilet paper anymore.
I spent $50 fucking on 3 5-gallon things of water.
The refill station?
No, so we normally get the 1-gallon jugs from Walmart. They're like 80 cents a pop. I'll usually get like 5 or 6 of them. It'll last us for like a week and a half. Yeah. Obviously, everybody heard of the virus, and if you haven't seen what's been going on, you've been living under a damn rock. Yeah. But all the water's gone, all the toilet paper's gone, and all that stuff. So we ran out of water. This was like Monday of last week or so. We ran out of water, and I'm like, okay, I'll go to the store and grab some more. Empty shelves.
Empty.
empty shelves. They're selling bottled water.
Case. I had to do that yesterday for the first time. I haven't bought bottled case water in so long because we use the jugs for everything.
Right.
We don't have a filter system, and if you do, it's garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah,
it's shitty.
Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. So the water pH levels are so fucking shitty in our town.
Because there's so much sediment and all this garbage in there. They're just like, it's within safe levels.
It's enough to drink, but you don't want to drink it. So I'd rather buy a jug, and a jug does last longer.
Right.
So to buy an actual case, it's like we were drinking water last night. We already went through like 4 or 5 bottles. It's not going to last that long.
You'll be chugging the shit.
Yes.
And so I was in Walmart. I was about to leave, and I guess people just hadn't seen this yet, or they didn't know it was there. So right in front of the checkout counter with like the 10 items or less, I'm standing there with an empty cart, pissed off, I have no water. This is like the third Walmart I've gone to.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck it. So I'm looking dead ahead, and it's one of these shelves, and it's weird. Like, I've never seen a station like this set up for a water machine.
What was it?
So Walmart sells a dispenser. You put the bottle in the bottom, and it sucks it in through, and it cools it for you.
Right.
So it's like $100, but they have this like metal cage where there's bottled water, and then there's empty bottles. And I'm like, are people just disposing of their empty bottles?
Like recycling them? Or?
I don't even freaking know. So I see, and I look on the rack, and there's like probably 15 of these 5-gallon jugs.
Right.
And I'm like, do I want to get that? And I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, and I'm just waiting. I'm really thinking about it way too hard. There's a lady in front of me. She's taking way too long to pay for all of her shit. It's one of those people that's just like, can you check this price? And then I saw this price was that, and I was like, oh, sweet mother.
It's like the old lady from SpongeBob.
Right.
What are they selling?
Right,
They're selling chocolates.
So I go, and I'm just like, I'm thinking, I'm like, no, I'm not going to get it. I'm not spending that kind of money on water. It's just water. So this dude, like one lane over, he starts eyeing the water, and I'm like, shit. I can't let him buy this water. No. So I was just like, fuck it. I just go and grab 3 5-gallon barrels of it, and I chuck it in the cart, and I get up to the thing. I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be like $20-$30. The lady rings it up. They're $13.44 a pop. Came out to 50, like more or less $50.
Yeah.
I was livid. I was like, dude, for fucking water.
For water. That's
what
That's what it's come down to. It's come down to...
Like, water isn't going to stop you from getting the virus. Well, I get it.
Okay, so I understand the concept of water because people are going into survival mode. They're going to stay inside, bunkering up and everything like that. But why the fuck did they buy out all the toilet paper?
Right?
They think they're just going to shit themselves?
They're going to make like a TP hazmat
suit. there was a picture that I've seen so many memes of. It shows like one of them was of the Simpsons of Marge like hammering down a door, and then Bart, Homer, and Lisa on the other side of the door, and they've got a shotgun pointing at the door, and there's toilet paper all around them, and it says Marge's face at the coronavirus, and then it says Las Vegas people with toilet paper and water.
It's ridiculous. It is. I get it. This is a scary time.
Yeah.
And don't get it twisted. I've been just trying to do my research and make sure I understand what exactly is going on. So it's certainly not something I want to take away from. When I say I'm not concerned, that's what I mean. I'm looking beyond it because I know regardless if I catch it, if Lynn catches it, if anybody else around us catches it, no matter what, there's always going to be tomorrow, guys. There's always going to be tomorrow. So this whole panicky stuff where it's like we're never going to leave the house and we're buying up all the water and the toilet paper and stuff like that, you got to go outside eventually.
Yeah,
you can't stay inside all day.
You can't keep yourself on lockdown.
We're creatures of nature. We're not built to be housed in a container of 4 walls like 24 hours a day. It doesn't work.
It's people's last survival their effort,
their fight or flight.
Their fight or flight to think, all right, well, this is what needs to be done. This is how things need to be because no one else is going to take care of you except for you. You're hurting. Them shutting down everything. Schools.
TV stations. I've heard of them shutting down damn near. Well, no, not hospitals, but like
they're directing people. What I was talking to a buddy of mine just recently, he was saying that if you get tested for it, they're pumping you full of IVs and ibuprofen to get your temperature to go down or Motrin, and then they're sending you home because there's such
they need space.
They need space. Yeah. If one of us got sick and I decided to go to fucking UMC or Spring Valley, one of the hospitals, they're not going to take me in there. They'll clean me up and then send me on my way. So a lot of these places, what I've been seeing on the news is that they're using their garage as
like
quarantine, makeshift quarantine areas. They'll come in, get you checked, and then send you out. And there are people that are making money off of it. There is no pro and con to what's going on, but people are trying to make the best out of a shitty situation.
And you are. In Vegas, especially, like Lynn said, we're used to tourism. That's all we get as tourists. So him working in security, me being an ex-security guard, we're used to being around people that can have any one of major virus. They come from all over the world, the East Coast, the East Side, Eastern Europe. I've met people from Germany, all over the globe. And so you kind of just are, it's almost like you're desensitized to the thought of getting sick. You're just like, I know it's going to happen.
I have no, exactly. Working in security and coming across, minor incidents at work recently within the last couple weeks is like my supervisors and everybody in the company have like flipped everything into high alert.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh shit, like this needs to get fixed. This is
Right.
what's going to happen. In my mind, it's like I've come across so many homeless people that have carried diseases,
Right.
people that are intoxicated, covered in throw up, like they've got fevers.
Right.
So it's like, I know it's going to come across, and with a lot of the things to kind of wrap up with this topic is
sorry.
that, I mean, you guys will be hearing more to come from what we learned, but us being civilians, we're kind of just portraying what we know.
Right.
What Dee was stating off is that it's affecting older people or
Children, or the immune compromised. Yes.
So people, it's like, if you stay healthy, you take your vitamin C, keep your
Right.
body up.
Get your vaccinations.
Get your vaccinations and keep your body up and running. You have a good chance of just fucking passing this shit.
Right.
Because you don't know that you might have the virus dormant, but you're going to be able to fight off whatever you're getting as long as you keep your body healthy.
It's like a virus forcing you to stay in shape.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody at the end of this, they're all going to be Spartans. Everybody's going to be ripped and ready to go.
We're going to rename
ready
it
to
the
fight.
Slim Fast
Yeah,
virus.
the Slim Fast virus or the 300 virus.
So today, Lynn's going to come at us with story time.
Story time.
Story time.
All right, so our story time today is another childhood memory of when me and Dee used to go quadding.
Yes, which was often.
With the family.
Yes.
We would go up to...
we went everywhere.
We would go out to the dunes.
The desert.
It would go out. It would be in the desert. It would be what was it called? Apex. I think Apex was one of the spots that we went out to. Yeah, Apex is a big spot. We would go to Dumont and we would go out with quads. We had like 4 to 6 quads. Yeah. My stepdad, my mom, and everybody, we would get together early in the morning. Dee would come in. We'd make breakfast super early. Go out there and just take the quads out in the desert.
Yes.
As far as you can go, open land, kind of to do whatever.
Yes.
The girl that I was with at the time, she came with us.
My girlfriend too.
Did she?
Yeah, remember? What? Wait, no, it was just your girl.
Yeah, it was just mine at that time. Yeah, it was just mine at that time.
Never mind, nix that.
Yeah, so we'll call her K for short.
Yeah.
But when we went out there for the quads and everything like that, we were riding around with the family, and we got more and more comfortable with riding quads out.
Pause.
Yeah.
Details. Okay, so.
Yeah.
When Lynn says we used to go quadding, okay, no, we would participate in the quadding. It was his stepdad and his uncles, and it was the most amazing thing. We wake up super early, shit crack of dawn. They would whip out this little, like on-the-go oven stove.
Oh, no, it was,
like a propane.
I don't know what to call it. I mean, for any of my Hispanic listeners that I know, and I know I'm going to butcher it. My dad would have, it would be like a curvature cooking.
Yeah.
It looks like a stand-up skillet.
Yeah.
And you literally run propane through it to heat it up.
Yeah.
And then you cook on it.
And then they just roast up some tortillas and some eggs and, just whip up some shit real quick. I don't know how, because we didn't bring that much, but we were always full. So they whip up all the food, we destroy the food, then they would start drinking. Okay.
At like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Super early. They would start drinking. So there on the quads, there was one automatic and the rest were manuals.
Oh, you had the Polaris one, the automatic.
Yeah,
the
automatic.
Yeah.
So one of his uncles is popping wheelies on this white quad. I'll never forget. It was white, and they had just got it, and he's popping wheelies, and the thing sounds mean, and they're zipping up, and he's like, "Hey, you want to give this a try?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you know how to drive a manual?" And I was like, "I'll figure it out."
Yeah.
Dude, I looked like a new kid driving a car. It was just like, go stop, go stop, go stop, and I killed it. So they're like, "We're gonna give you the automatic," and Lynn got to steer. He got to have fun on the manual, but I played it safe. So that was like one of my first experiences in the quadding. Now, mind you, I had an afro. Okay, I just started getting facial hair.
I remember
and
that.
I did not play in the dirt.
No.
So I'm gonna remember that because I'm gonna bring that up at the end. Continue.
to add to that, I know somewhere my mom and my dad have a picture, and it's literally just a picture of a still frame of your face from here to here. And everything is ghost white from the dirt, and all you see is you having a set of glasses. You literally look like someone that we found on like a deserted island that you've been fighting for yourself.
Yeah, I had ghost face.
Yeah, it was
just
a
dirt in this little patch.
Yeah, a little patch of where your eyes were because you would get so dirty.
So we went off on a trail.
Okay, yeah. So we went off on a trail. Me, Kay, and Dee all went off on the trail to start going up towards the peak of where the mountain was.
Yes.
Because for people that do or don't know quadding, you've got what are called sand dunes.
Yes.
If you go out too far and it goes from rock area just to straight flat sand, there's a good chance it's going to turn into this dead drop.
Oh, yeah.
And the drops, it's like you don't want to go too far in the sand dunes, so it's better to stick to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
So you ride the quad up as high up the mountain you can go. We started following trails, whatever trails we can find, and we found a cave.
A mine. Actually, it wasn't an abandoned mine?
It was like an abandoned mine. It was an intro that went into a cave that would drop off into a mine shaft.
Yes.
And,
there was a pool of blood.
Okay. Yeah, so when we decided this, we were like, you know what? We were kids. We didn't know any better. So we're like, let's go into the cave and check it out. Just to explore. Yeah. Kay, she was a little timid at the time.
And then, timid, my dude?
She was extremely timid at the time. D was he was inexperienced. And then me being how I was and how I am, like, I always live it by the fuck it moment. Like, as long as I know it's not going to kill me.
By the seat of our pants.
I would try to get my experience into thinking, all right, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So let's try it. We didn't even get more than, how far in?
I think we got maybe 10 feet past the entrance.
Yeah, like we got a little ways past the entrance.
Shit went downhill.
Yeah, you get darker into the cave. You see that the cave starts to dip down, and it's not so much in like you can just walk. It's like, all right, you have to climb in order to get into the cave.
Yes.
We got 10, 20, 30 feet inside there. We're like, maybe we shouldn't go down. As we were passing through, there's this pool of blood sitting on the ground,
and it looked fresh.
It smelled fresh, and we're like, all right, obviously an animal had been coming in here. Something came in here, probably killed something, and then dragged its body into the fucking cave. So D just takes off towards the quads. He's like, all right, no, this isn't gonna work.
No, pause. Details. Okay, we see the pool of blood. Okay, Lynn ventures in a little further. I'm kind of hanging back in the middle, like right where the light starts to fade past the door entrance. Lynn and Kay are kind of in. I'm kind of just watching the door. I'm like, all right, cool. So we see the blood. We're staring at the blood. And I'm like, bro, I don't know where the blood came from, but I don't have a good feeling about it. And Lynn's like, he's like, no, it's cool. Let's go. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, you know what? I've gone in far enough. I'm good. I'm going to back out. And then I hear this. We look down.
Yep.
At the mouth of the cave is a fucking rattlesnake.
It was a diamondback rattlesnake.
In the fucking mouth of the entrance of the cave, okay? So my big ass, now mind you, as soon as we hear the rattling, Lynn doesn't know for sure. Kay is behind me, but in front of Lynn. So he doesn't know for sure. And I look back at him and I go, bro, there's a rattlesnake. Mm-hmm. She freaks.
She ran into the cave.
Right. She pushes Lynn deeper into the cave. She's freaking out now. So I'm like, no, don't go deeper into the cave. No. Lynn's like, dude, you have to get the fuck out of here because I got to get her out of here.
I got to get her out of here. I can't push her past because this...
I'm in the way.
Yeah. She pushed me deeper into the cave. She thought, all right, whatever the fuck is in the cave, it's better than seeing the snake. Because it was a pretty decent sized rattlesnake. It was a diamondback, which is big enough. We have enough of them inside of Vegas to they're
all over the place.
To see, to depict what they are and what they like, how they look.
Right.
So she wouldn't move forward. I wasn't going to be able to carry her. And had I tried to go back through the entrance side, carrying her, this thing would fucking get me in the leg. No, it would have got him. Yeah, it'd snapped me in the leg.
So I pick up a rock.
He picks up a fucking rock. Ugh.
I try to hit the snake with the rock, okay? I'm feeling like straight up He-Man. I'm like, I'm good. Let's go. I pick up the rock. I go to throw the rock. It hits the roof of the cave and falls straight down in front of the snake.
Off the roof, hit the ground, and rolled over.
Just the snake probably looked at it and was like, you stupid motherfucker.
It only ended up pissing off the snake more because then the snake started moving. It wasn't just coiled up in a ball anymore.
No.
It moved to go down into the cave because it saw a black dude with a fucking afro with ghost face on chucking a boulder like it was an attack at him. So
Lynn's like, dude, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And I take 3 steps back and I just football gun it towards the entrance. I kind of jump over the snake a little bit. I don't even know. Like I wasn't even paying attention. I get outside. I hit the quad. I'm like, safe. I'm thinking Lynn is right behind me.
Nope.
I look back. They're still in the fucking cave.
We're still in the fucking cave.
He's trying to get. She's hyperventilating. Kay is tripping balls, and Lynn is trying. It was like watching 2 sumo wrestlers fight each other. He's trying to push her out, and she's pushing him back.
Yeah, we're not getting any traction. I was like, I had to yell at her and literally like practically almost chuck her over my shoulder to get her to move because she would not let me fucking go past.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm not going deeper into this cave where there's blood all in the cave.
We're gonna die.
I was like, if we get bit by the snake, we're fucked. There's nothing else we can do about it at that point. So
it's over. And she's not little.
No,
she wasn't. I mean, now don't get me wrong. When I say she wasn't little, she wasn't big. Yeah, but she was not little.
Not little enough for me to carry.
Right. I'd say her and Lynn were probably like the same size.
Yeah.
Ish.
Height, weight wise. So it's like there would have been no way for me.
I look at Lynn and I'm like, Lynn, push her. And he's like, what? I'm like, dude, throw her to me. Yeah. And he's like, how? And she looks back at him, looks at me. Lynn heaves back, flings her. She like somehow like leap glided over the snake, hits the ground, and runs at me like a football player, like a linebacker, and tackles me onto my quad. And she's tripping balls. And then now it's time for Lynn to get out.
So I pretty much had played enough Splinter Cell and Metal Gear Solid in my life to know how to hug a wall. So I literally pinned my body up against the wall and just teetered all the way along the side. That snake had already moved itself from its original spot deeper into where the cave was. Exactly. So it gave me enough room to finally book it out.
Oh, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That was a lot.
First snake that I've ever seen, and it was decent enough, and it was pissed.
We almost died.
Yeah, that rattle was more than enough.
We didn't know, like, we were in semi-mountain lion territory. Yeah. We knew there were a lot of caves, so there was a lot of creatures that live in caves. Yeah. So we were just like, fuck it. We got to get out of here. We got to go. We went a little further after that. We still had some fun, but we definitely toned it down. No more caves.
No more caves. Like I said, more stories to come on story time, but that was...
That's it for story time today.
That's enough to wrap it up for that one point. So, like I said, we're going to keep it short and simple, but one of our main topics today we're going to be doing, like I said, we're doing a live record. We're going to try and make this more of a vivid thing. We've got a front shot going on right now. We're going to see if we can get more cameras in to get us at different angles. Yeah. We've brought in the posters and everything like that.
Lynn likes his angles.
Yeah, exactly. Always love my angles. So we're trying to make it so you guys can get more real with us and see who we are as individuals.
Yes.
To see that, we're not just voices like, this is me. I don't know if you know I had a beard.
And a lot of stuff we cut out is us doing hand gestures.
It's all hand gestures.
So
yeah, we like to talk with our hands.
Obviously, if I'm talking like this and there's more hands than words, you're not going to see it or hear it.
You're going to get more of a live feed, more to relate with us. I feel like it'll bring us more on a personal level of who we are.
Yeah, and I think it'll help attract more people because we're not just random voices floating out there in the ether.
No, exactly. Now we actually have...
We're normal dudes. We we're not loaded. We don't have a ton of money. We're not like... We're
working with the bare minimum,
regular cats.
And we're trying to keep it going and flowing as much as possible.
Yes.
So I know we were originally trying to hit on how school was.
Yeah.
What our lifestyles from... I guess, I don't know, what I took from school back in the day to what I'm using it to implement now. I guess I'll let you go first. How do you feel?
Really quick for me, I don't like school. I never liked school because I feel like school is very cookie cutter. And I hated that because I've always been the outlier. I've always been that one person that didn't stick out, that didn't fit in. Stuff didn't click the same way for me as it did everybody else. We mentioned this in our previous episode of how me and Lynn met was in 6th grade. Well, I was repeating 6th grade as he was just getting into 6th grade.
Right.
I repeated 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. Not because I was stupid, but because I didn't have any ambition to want to get better in school because I didn't see the purpose behind it.
Which is understandable. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I got tired of going to school every single day, learning stuff, testing on it, getting a grade, and then never covering it again, and then forgetting about it until the end of the year where you get your final, and they're like, oh, remember that thing we covered the first month of school?
So what I feel like, I mean, obviously we don't know a whole lot when it comes to the education of how Nevada runs, but I know we rank relatively low opposed to most people in the States. I feel like as far as an education goes, they need to update what they teach you and how life is based off of where you live.
Yes.
Because how things are in town here, opposed if I were to go back home to Ohio, it ain't the same. It's fucking night and day difference. I'm not gonna like taking history class.
Yes.
Any of that shit that I learned in there, I'm not going to fucking inhibit it.
It's gone. I don't remember.
Exactly. I don't remember any of that. You're not retaining it. They need to teach you how to survive on a fundamental and be able to. All right, well, this is what life is going to be like.
Yes.
It might change in the next couple of years, but these are the tools that you need. I guarantee you a lot more people will be successful because the dropout rate tends to be so fucking high.
Our dropout rate is horrific.
Because people won't finish through. I'm not learning anything in school that was helping me provide as an adult when I got older. I literally had to learn
There was nothing in school that I learned that was like, this is how you be good at working at a call center. No,
same thing. Yeah, like, this is how I need to, what in security they teach us verbal judo. This is what I need to use school for in order to learn how to talk to people better. Like,
no.
Yeah, it does help with when you're a kid, for my daughter and everything like that. When she first started going to school, she was very antisocial, would only watch kids play, but never wanted to actually intervene and play with kids.
Yes.
Putting kids in school at a young age is good because it helps them.
It's good socially.
It helps them with social interaction and developing their characters. But as you get older, as an adult going into middle school and high school, a lot of this shit that they're teaching you, unless I'm trying to put it into a career, I'm not using it for anything.
And that's what I mean. And it sucks because it falls on a few variables. One, the school system doesn't have enough money. Yeah. Two, the teachers get paid shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And three, the kids are assholes. And the parents just pawn them off on the teachers as babysitters.
Right.
And so that's how it felt like us going through school. It felt like I'm in this classroom. It's overpacked full of kids. We're overcrowded. They had to bring in trailers at one point.
Oh, the portables.
Yeah, the portables.
They still do
Nobody wanted to fucking be there. So all the kids are being assholes. So at one point, I was in math class. class, and I was kind of like, quote unquote, that dumb kid that sat in the corner. Yeah. The teacher knew I was smart enough to do it, but I just didn't apply myself. But me and him had a good rapport, so one of the students was acting up, and I threw a fucking desk at him. Because he got in the teacher's face. Like, the teacher was asking him to be quiet. He was one of those kids that sat in the back. Yeah. He was just being a douche. Yeah. And the teacher was like, be quiet. He was an older dude. He's like, chill out, chill out. And the kid's like, oh, fuck you, old man. This, and that, this. And so his friends start getting rowdy.
Of course they
And
did.
I was like, cool.
His hype man come in, yeah.
Right. So I kind of yell. I raise him. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, chill the fuck out. And he's like, fuck you, dude. And I was like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Picked up the desk and I threw it at him. Yeah. So, of course, I got sent to the dean's office, but it's one of those things where I don't know, like, when I was going into school, I was taught to respect your elders. Right. And especially above all, respect your teachers, because you need your diploma. They have something you don't have, which is an education and information that you need, regardless if they wanted to be there today or not. No, They have something you need to graduate.
Exactly.
So shut the fuck up, do what you got to do,
let
and
get
through
it. Let them do
their job. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you want to flunk out of school, flunk out on your own. Don't do your thing. Fuck off the teacher's day.
Because you're affecting everybody at that point. It's changing everybody's momentum and their adaptability to be able to learn something.
And that's one of my issues with school is there's not enough variety. And this is going back to what I was saying about the cookie cutter. We were all expected to sit at a desk, sit in that class for, I don't know, what was it, an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that.
When you were going, it was did you have A days and B days?
Yeah, we had A and B days.
Okay, so I remember, Palo Verde. I remember A and B days, and like each class, rather than running all your classes in one day,
it'd be 4 classes.
It would be
a day.
4 classes a day, so it would make the days shorter.
Right. It made the day kind of shorter, but it kind of didn't help anything because, like I said, we're all sitting in this class, we're all sitting at the desk. The teacher's teaching the same way they taught everybody else for years past. Yeah. There's no testing to figure out what level you're on. Like me, I have dyslexia and a testing anxiety. I didn't know this was a thing. Somebody had just recently told me about it. It's like some type of number dyslexia. Right. I'm really bad with math, even though I love numbers. Right. I took the math proficiency 9 times.
Oh, dude, the math proficiency, dude, I didn't even pass mine.
What?
The math proficiency, which is crazy, is I don't know how I got my diploma. I walked. I graduated.
You were a part of that No Kid Left Behind campaign.
No, yeah, I got the tail end of that tour. I had good grades. You know, my GPA was high, my grades were good. But for the life of me, I'm good at math. I'm very good at math.
Yeah, I'm decent enough.
But the math efficiency fucked me. I tried it 3 different times, and I never fucking passed it.
9 times.
Yeah.
9 times. To the point where they started charging me to take the test.
To take the test. So eventually they're just like, you know what, this isn't fair that you need to pass math in order to get out into the world.
It wasn't even math.
It's not basic. It wasn't basic math.
It wasn't even math. It was.
What was it?
Everything. Well, it was
reading, writing, and math.
It was reading comprehension, writing, math, and actually, yeah, it was just those 3 because they didn't throw in the other stuff till the new kids took over. And it's funny because I hate reading and I hate writing, but I scored the highest in my class in those 2 fields for the proficiency.
Because it comes out naturally.
It was annoying. I was furious because I love math.
Right.
Me and my stepfather would we would study for 3 hours, damn near a night. I was in homeschooling and I was going to summer school.
I went to, it was a little spot right off of Charleston and Valley View. It was
the adult ed?
It was like an adult ed thing because that's where I met.
Was it a bunch of trailers, the portables?
No.
Okay,
this was just an outside spot.
I was on Flamingo. That's what it was.
The first time that I met Ian, it was him and his brothers. We would go. My mom put me in. It was a math tutoring class. And it was literally down Charleston and Valley View across from Walmart. Yeah, another story that we'll go through because I had my fucking shoes stolen from me. I used to have to take the bus back and forth, and I remember because I had a pair of shoes that I was wearing, and this dude was sitting next to me near the bus stop, and he. I guess we'll go into this. I had a pair of they're like not the Nike pumps, but they're pump up shoes. I was super excited about them, everything like that. I used to have to take the cat bus everywhere, right? And I would have to go to this learning thing. Right there in between the Meadows Mall and Charleston where the Walmart's at.
I know vaguely where you're talking
there's like a little runway where there's I don't know how to explain it. There's
You're not talking about Valley View.
No, it is Valley View.
Valley View?
Yeah, so it's Valley View and Charleston where they meet right before you hit the Meadows Mall.
Yeah.
In the corners there's
plaza.
There's this little tiny plaza where there was a math tutoring spot. I would go there, do my tutoring, go to the cat bus stop off of Charleston and take it back home because I lived off of Charleston and Rainbow.
Right.
I remember this guy was standing next to me and he was looking at my shoes and I didn't know who he was. I was still a kid.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh man, I really like your shoes." I was like, "Yeah, I like them too." He goes, "No man, I really like your shoes." I was like, "Thanks. I know, they're cool." And I started showing him. I was all excited. I was pumping them up and everything. He goes, "Oh, that's cool, man." He goes, you mind if I try them on and pump them up?" And I look at his feet and I'm like, "I don't think this will fit." And he goes, "Nah, man, they'll fit." And I was like, "I don't think they'll fit." And he goes, "Hey, well, show me how they pump up again." So I go to, but take them off and show them to me. And I was like, "Okay." So I took off one shoe. I showed him that I was pumping it up. He grabs grabbed it from me, puts it up next to his foot, puts his foot up, measures it to see. He goes, yeah, these will fit. And I'm looking at him like, well, yeah, man, you should probably get, a pair of your own. He goes, oh no, I have a pair now. And I just sit there and stare at him. Completely blew my fucking mind. I was like, okay.
The fuck?
Yeah, he goes, yeah, but I only have one pair. So can I only have a left foot. You think you can help a brother out and give me a right foot? And I was like, well, no, they're my shoes. I was just a kid at the time, so I didn't know any better. I'm like, I was a freshman, either sophomore or freshman high school. I'm not as
16,
I wasn't as solid as I am now. I was barely.
He used to be real wiry.
Yeah, I was maybe 130, 140 pounds. Yeah.
All veins.
So. He asked me for the other set of shoes, and I told him no, and he goes, no, man. He goes, before we get on this bus, you're going to give me these shoes. And I look around, there's nobody else around.
Right.
I'm sitting off a shitty part of town of Valley View in Charleston, and I just kind of took off my shoes and I handed it to him. I was like, okay. I was like, don't scuff them up.
Fuck it, right? That's
all
you
he looks
can
at me,
do.
he puts his hand on my shoulder. He's like, hey man, you made a good decision today. He walked away and didn't even get on the fucking bus. He walked off, walked into the fucking darkness, and I never saw him again.
Yeah.
So I had to get on the goddamn bus with no shoes on.
No shoes.
Walk home. I was crying.
Of course.
I was so upset. I don't know if my parents even know about that story, but
I don't think. Did we know each other? Yeah, we
knew each other back then. Yeah, I never said anything about it, but I remember Ian and his brothers knew about it because they didn't take the bus, but I told them what had happened.
Yeah.
And Ian was saying more or less to the part hey man, let's next time we'll go take a bus differently, or someone can pick you up. That's how I met them for the first time, and then I found out they went to Palo.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I met them through that, but that was my experience with.
Yeah, I didn't even meet Ian until way later. We will get into our boy Ian. That kid is.
There'll be stories to go with that. There's many stories to go.
He's special, and I don't mean that as an insult. He's truly a special.
He's a unique.
Person.
He's a unique character.
Nothing
unique
you'll
individual.
find. He's one of those once in a lifetime.
It's kind of cool, the concept of when you come across people in the world. I feel like everybody has the same. There's a commercial I saw. It's irrelevant to what this topic is, but there was a commercial of a bunch of people all floating, and they're all going towards a destination, which is their life goals. But their robots are on autopilot, and then when in their brain they decided to want to live life differently, they drop down and they would start walking, and then another person would drop down, another person would drop down. You get those 5%ers, the people that bring color and life and energy to the table. Me, you, Ian was one of them. You get those people that are just you want to be around them because you're like, fuck, this guy's completely different from what I'm accustomed to, which everybody does the same thing. You get people that have the same persona, they do the same mentality, they'll bitch and complain about the same outcomes, but then you get those one people hey, let's go do this. Hey, let's try that.
So, but he was surrounded by the most shadiest people. Love you, Ian. But damn it, man.
We all had shitty taste in people.
We had a weird life. We all had our own fucked up way of growing up, and I obviously I'm not going to tell Ian's story, but knowing Ian's life, when I tell you the story, and then probably the next episode or so when he came to live with me, and I got to find out his full backstory, I was like, oh yeah, bro, you don't have to stay there. No. You just come and stay with me.
Yeah, everybody brings a different portion of their life, everything being so dark and heavy as a kid. People that we grew up with, we were all kids, but we had our lives flipped. And that's a reverse Fresh Prince. We had our lives flipped upside down to where we had to experience things as adults.
We went through a lot of adult stuff as teenagers.
Exactly.
And people will tell me, they're like, you have an old soul. You just seem very chill. I'm like, dude, I've been through, and I mean, I haven't been through some stuff that other people obviously, but just with the things me and Lynn have gone through and the shit I've seen, I'm good. I don't need to get in any fights.
I'm done, dude. Yeah. It's funny. It's I'm turning 31 in a week or two, and it's in my mentality, everyone's like, oh, what do you want to do for your birthday? What are the plans? I was like, dude, I already did everything.
We've done it all.
I've done so much. It's all right.
Face plastered.
There's just everything's already lived up from the best to the worst. So it's I don't need.
By the time we hit 21, guys, alcohol wasn't even exciting anymore.
No, it kind of
we had gotten drunk so many times.
Yeah, it lost its flavor, its output.
But we're almost going into an hour.
Okay, yeah. So
we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah. So casual talks, good vibes to kind of keeping things natural, keeping things fluid. I guess I'll let you.
Something I wanted to touch on really quick.
Touch up on that
about when I say keep things natural, because I've noticed just with the way society has gone, we've moved away from people being themselves. It feels like when you meet somebody, somebody, you got to get through their facade before you get to them. And that facade could be anything. It could be makeup. It could be lies. It could be a false advertising of their mood or whatever that day. And I guess it's because they don't want to offend somebody, or they don't want to bring somebody else down, do stuff like that. And it bothers me because I feel like the more we get away from just speaking our minds and being ourselves, the more we're getting away from our individuality,
right?
As people, because you could be racist, you could be a KKK member, and you don't like me. That doesn't make you any less human. Everything that makes who you are is unique and special. So regardless if you had that one thing, yeah, you're racist, whoop-de-fucking-do. That doesn't mean that I should automatically disregard every single thing you say because it goes against my norm.
Right, having your own individual beliefs. It doesn't mean that you have to disregard and stop people. I feel like it comes across the point where learning with constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have my opinion on what you feel when it comes to a certain topic, but I'm not gonna just completely like, no, this isn't
right.
Because I don't believe in it, it's not okay. It's like,
right.
I want to know because it's constructive criticism. It could help me grow as an individual. Like, I didn't think that's how you thought.
Right.
So let me kind of change or portray what I feel, and then we can go into an agreement.
We can just bounce stuff off of each other.
Exactly.
I want people to be more natural. And like, everybody's trying to be more politically correct. And, like I said, everything's, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a racist or a misogynist or this or that. And it's like, dude, just be you. Who gives a shit? Like, we're so focused on titles, it's taking away from our individuality, and it's making people less natural. Like, I've seen dudes, like, now dudes get weaves. Dudes.
Yeah, that's an actual thing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dudes have Spanx. I don't know how long that's been around, but there's Spanx for dudes.
Yeah.
There's men are wearing makeup. I mean, we obviously knew about this from the drag queens, but I mean, for like the everyday average Joe like me and Lynn, there's like makeup and shit.
There's makeup,
it's
there's
crazy.
Tutorials, and people are actually falling into it. It's a different lifestyle.
Dudes are wearing waist trainers and girdles and stuff like that because they don't want to be judged, or people are disfiguring themselves because they want to fit in.
Right.
And it's just like, why are we overlooking the most important aspect of this whole thing, which is you, the individual. You, the natural person. Like, how are you when you're not at work? How are you when we take the suit and tie off?
You know what? A friend of mine made a good point about it. Who you are in public opposed to who you are behind closed doors are two different things.
Yes.
Who I can portray to be at work opposed to who I can portray to be outside of work, completely different. And with how mean you are, who I am right now is who I am at work.
All day.
But then you come across someone where it's like, all right, you see him at work and like, hey, let's hang out outside of work. You see him outside of work, you're like, what the fuck? Like, you're completely,
I'm one of those people.
You're a completely different individual. I feel like with being natural, and like, how Dee's pointed out, is that you got to be true to who you are as an individual. So quit trying to impress everybody by changing up things and changing up your style, what you look like, how you feel, how you pronounce things, what you can and can't say,
trying
do or
not
think.
To be you.
Yeah. The farther away that you are from being yourself, the less likely you are about down the road who you really are going to be.
You're not going to keep around you.
Exactly.
Because
you're not going to bring in good company.
If you're faking the funk all the fucking time, you're going to bring in people who are either fake or who were brought in under false pretenses. So when you have to take the mask off, that's what I call it, because when I go to work, I wear a mask. I put on my white voice. I sound really professional. I'm always smiling. Everybody sees me. I'm hi, how you doing? This and that. I'm talking. I'm an introvert. I don't like being around people. I don't like going out in public, which, on a side note, helps me with the whole virus thing, because technically I've quarantined myself. It's one of those things where I like to connect with people on an individual level.
Right.
I don't like being in a group or in a room of 100 people and I'm the only one talking.
Exactly.
I don't like that.
No.
So if it's on the one-on-one level, you're going to get the real me. If we're in a large group setting and, any future events that may be, if we're in a large group setting and I come off super chipper, super high energy and happy, that's my mask. Because what's really going on with me, I don't want to share with you, because I'm one of those people, I don't want to put you down with what's going on with me.
Right.
Maybe I had a shitty morning. Maybe me and my girl just got to a fight. Maybe something happened and I'm just going through a mood. I should at least be able to convey that to you without you feeling some type of way. I
Which
just
is
like,
good,
look, dude, I'm just not in the fucking mood right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We should be able to say that to each other, but now, like I said, it's all about, I don't want to offend you, I don't want to hurt your feelings, I don't want to get canceled.
No,
all this cancel culture shit.
Exactly.
Like, we need to get back. We need to stop, reverse course, and really trying to end this on a high note. We need to get back to the way we used to be.
Yeah, that
and
natural
when I say
instinct.
that, I think we got away from being united as individuals because we got away from, we don't have whole families anymore so much. much, you know, we have single parent households 9 times out of 10.
Right.
You don't really have grandparents, great grandparents, and stuff like that. At least not from my experience. You know, you have some people that are a little more old fashioned, but it just seems like we've gotten away from the simple dynamic of just being able to have a conversation,
an actual conversation. Yeah, exactly, without feeling like you're being judged or having to justify who you are.
So no matter what, sorry to cut you off, Lynn, no matter what, when you're here, when you're in fucking Project Airwaves, this is a fucking tree of trust. Like, this is a no judgment zone. Like,
Absolutely.
you can be whoever the fuck you are here. All natural, all natty.
Yeah.
For us muscleheads, all natty.
That natural aspect, we will stick on that. You know, bringing in guests down the road, we want to hear what people have to say. We want to know their inputs, their advice, their feelings on how they do and don't want to assess the situation, and we're gonna be understanding and respectful of it. We're not gonna sit there and like, oh, you shouldn't say that or you should do that because it's how you think.
Right, because we get feedback.
Yeah, we get
feedback. People tell us stuff to talk about and how to say it and stuff like that. And I love getting feedback because it lets me know you're listening, and you're listening with a critical ear, and you're taking everything I'm saying into consideration to give me proper feedback. So I take that very personally when people give me feedback. Don't be offended or don't feel like we're not listening to you if we don't immediately apply your feedback.
Right.
Because this is us being natural.
Exactly.
This is our natural self. So you're gonna get a lot more energy from me being natural than you will me trying to be fake.
Trying to pretend.
I'm gonna sound like a robot.
Exactly. I'm gonna be more expressful. You're gonna have a lot more of a lifestyle out of me rather than, all right, that's cool.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. Oh wow, really?
And I think that's why Lynn wanted to go video, so you could actually see him.
I need you to see who I am, exactly, so I don't sound or look like I'm this monotone asshole, because people tend to come off. I've been told more enough times I tend to be or give a very intimidating vibe because I'm a closer. I'm one that, I'm guarded. I've always been guarded. That's who I am. That's just how my life is. But I'm approachable. I'm an approachable guy. I'm someone that if family, friends, even a new person needs to come talk to me about it, like I'll be honest. And you get all of it there. I'll be honest.
You want to meet me? You meet Lynn, and then he introduces you to me through himself, and then I decide if I want to meet you.
Exactly. It turns into a persona. It's a good fun thing. It's always gonna be fun.
So just keep it natural, guys. Have fun with it. Life is too fucking short to be worried about all of this extra stuff, like with social media and just people and their feelings and this and that. Be you. Know what you know. Like what you like, and guarantee you, if the person next to you doesn't like what you like, somebody else will like what you like. I promise you, there is always somebody out there that likes what you like.
I agree.
You can find common ground with somebody. You just might have to broaden your horizons a little bit. So keep it cool. But okay, I did that. You heard silence, but on the video they saw that.
Yes. So to wrap
things up,
as always, guys, appreciate the love and the listening. We're gonna try and keep this flowing. More episodes to come, more visual episodes. Yes. So at the end of the day,
I'm D,
and this is Lynn.
This is Project Airwaves.
Project Airwaves.
Keep your head in the motherfucking clouds
and keep your feet on the ground. Good
All
night,
right, everybody. Love y'all. See y'all next time.
Have a good night.
Penis.